If you like something, you'll share it. If it fits your narrative, you'll share it. If it doesn't, you can silence it. And that's a kind of scary place to be in.
It doesn't leave a lot of room for like different opinions.
From a personal perspective, is social media something that has no effect on your faith, has a positive effect on your faith, or has a negative effect on your faith? But then if you really want to go big picture, is social media promoting the church, defying the church, or has no effect on the church? And I would say that social media, specifically here in Western culture, at least how it feels like, is no, they're fighting the church. They don't want anything to do with the church, and they want to persecute the church.
I kind of almost just see it as, in some ways, it's social media has almost given too much power to too many people in a weird way. It's almost like when someone posts a status, I almost see that as the equivalent of someone going out on the street with a megaphone and saying that status, and everyone hears that status, and okay, they hear it. Do they respond? Maybe, maybe not. But then what if everyone has a megaphone and they're all just shouting their statuses at the same time? Do we even advance anything? Does anything get advanced?
The loudest megaphone wins.
It comes to that point, and who has the biggest tribe?
Yeah, and just I want to piggyback a little bit off of what you said. They have too much power, like, so, social media companies having too much power. I think one of the problems that we're having, especially in the Western world, democracies, anywhere, is the pace of, you could say, social media and or technology has so far outpaced the legislation and the laws that govern our digital spaces. We're still playing huge catch up. There's so much of any social media platform that is unregulated. I mean, yeah, the company, they hire their moderators and they moderate the content or whatever, but they're truly not answerable to governing authorities. I know it was in the news a while ago. In Australia, they were talking about, bringing on some regulation, some laws and some regulations. I can't exactly remember which, totally particulars they were. But anyway, so Australian government was going to legislate these things to start legislating some of the digital space. Facebook fought back. They retaliated, and they said, oh, well, if this stuff gets passed, well, then certain content's not going to be, we might now be able to get certain content to you guys. And so basically trying to blackmail the government. And, but the Australian government was very firm. They withheld their ground. They didn't give in to intimidation. And I think that's just one example where big tech in a lot of ways is unregulated. Like, social media is unregulated, and that's a huge problem because it's kind of creating a bit of a monopoly system. Facebook owns Instagram. Do they own TikTok, or is TikTok separate? I'm trying to remember.
I think TikTok is still separate, to my knowledge.
Well, wasn't TikTok out of China?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but there you go. They control basically all the users. It's crazy.
It comes down to the point where, are these companies getting to the point where they're more powerful than the government? And if they're more powerful than the government, and we have to start listening to them, well, are they our new authority over us that has been put there as per Christ? Because all of a sudden it's like, oh, do we have to start listening to this very small subset of people? I mean, granted, that has happened multiple times in the past with monarchies and stuff like that, but it's just it's in our purview, or what we know growing up. It's just well, we don't have to regulate our speech. We have something that we assumed, at least, that we had freedom of speech.
Well, yeah, this is turning into the information wars, the battle of what information does the majority of users consume. And that's a scary thing when as Nathan pointed out, if there's only a few companies and they're almost are in cahoots, you would say, to a certain degree or more. And yeah, think that if you like something, you'll share it. If it fits your narrative, you'll share it. If it doesn't, you can silence it. And that's a kind of scary place to be in.
It doesn't leave a lot of room for like different opinions.
I mean, there are some alternative platforms. I think the unfortunate thing is we let these giants get too big, and they're there, but they're
like, there is the whole thing that YouTube is actually run at a deficit. YouTube does not make money. And it's the fact that the parent company pours, at least to my understanding, it's the parent company that doesn't want to shut it down because of how prevalent it is in society.
And Google makes so much money that they don't really care. To a certain degree, they don't even care how much that YouTube hemorrhages because they're so freaking big.
Well, it's kind of something to think about. Is the top site for videos is regulated by Google, and now they are very powerful.
Well, and to a certain degree, we all kind of fueled it. We all added content, like even myself adding content. I was one of millions and millions of people that helped fuel this machine.
We're all basically what it is we're all sort of guilty, and we all drink out of the same Kool-Aid. That's basically
what Kool-Aid flavor do you like?
Oh, I guess I'd probably go blue, Yeah, what about you, Tom?
I'm not sure if I've had enough flavors to really comment on that.
I'm disappointed in your lack of
first
exposure
you don't have
to Kool-Aid.
social media.
Come on.
And now you're not drinking Kool-Aid.
He doesn't even know what kind of Kool-Aid. We got to get this guy current here. I might just have to start creating social media accounts for him.
Create a burner account.
Yeah. What you can do, anyone can do that. You can create fake accounts all the time, right? So
if I get canceled for something I say, well, that's on me. But really, I don't need to get canceled for something else.
Why not?
They'll cancel anything. They could cancel the Kool-Aid man, like breaking through walls. Like that's like too much breaking of stuff.
We're gonna have a lot of unhappy people, though. I gotta tell you.
Well, honestly, if someone broke my wall, I'd probably be upset too.
Yeah, me too. It'd be awful.
Well, I don't think you have to worry. I don't think any of your walls are made out of bricks.
Well, no, but all the worse if it breaks through it. Like, there's nothing to sustain this thing.